Yo, what's good, everybody? Coach Cal B here, man. Hey, got to tap in with what's going on with all this NIL talk, and I love it. Shout out to everybody that's NIL agents, NIL sports marketing gurus, all that good stuff. What I really want to chime in about is how a lot of these gentlemen that are retiring, Nick Saban and other coaches that are resigning from their positions or possibly being let go because they no longer can keep up with what's cracking. They can't keep up with what's happening. So this great conversation, especially after seeing the whole clip that's going around about Nick Saban talking to the Supreme Court about, or is it Congress he's talking to about NIL 50 years ago. I got to bring this up. 50 years ago, it's so different now. I can't believe, it's not like it was when I was first in the game. And they need to change the game because the way it was when I was in the game, it was so much better when I was in the game and things was good back then. I don't know why I got Nick Saban sounding like that. But now I want to bring the clip up real quick because it was kind of whack. It's funny to hear it, but kind of whack to hear my man's kind of like really going in about how horrible things are now, that he can't recruit you the way he used to be able to recruit you. He can't do that anymore. So it's really, really got him feeling away. So let me see. Like I said, Nick, man, he make a fool of himself. This is TYT. Now, the crazy part about hearing, and I'm going to just keep it ethnically sound. The crazy part about hearing an older Caucasian gentleman speak about a sport that is predominantly dominated by the recruiting of African-American men, young men at that many come from circumstances that none of them would even remotely want their child to have to grow up in. Saying all of that is really like an indictment of the character of all the athletes they're recruiting now that they're able to have access to making money. So that's how I hear it. Because name, image, and likeness is still not talking about the real issue that they have in college sports, which is they don't take care of these kids medically. They don't take care of them financially while they have them. And then when they leave the sport, and they leave college sports, a lot of these young people are not necessarily that good of a financial situation. But I digress. We get back to what he's saying about how name, image, and likeness has made this environment like that. How collectives have made this environment like that. How paying athletes. You don't pay athletes. You're doing what you used to do, which is you had a collection of boosters or a collection of financiers that would give you all the money that you needed so that you could go out and acquire these young people. And then what you would do is you would shelve them literally. You would have so much talent. You could literally shelve a guy on your roster and then switch their position. Now, I'm going to finish playing this because this was very profound to me to see this dude doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I laughed. I laughed when I seen it. I've commented on other people's stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is hilarious to hear these guys talking about it. And they're essentially whining about how they can't control young people, young black boys, and make them adhere to their standard of playing football the way they think football should be played. Let's keep this going, man. You feel me? Shout out to TYT, man, the Young Turks. This is a sports channel, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we just had to dive in, man, because this was funny. You know what I'm saying? Let's tap back in. So, and of course, you got to bring up a brother named Mike Tomlin. We'll get into that. Again, how does the program lose all of its value? Because now you can transfer and I can actually openly offer you a financial opportunity along with your education. Because a scholarship is just that. It's a financial instrument. You're saying, hey, I can help your kid, your son, your daughter, if they come to my school, my university, and I'll be able to bring them in and put my loving arms around them and help them learn how to become a more successful, productive American citizen as a result of being a part of our university and this particular athletic program. I no longer am able to govern that anymore because now all of a sudden everybody's become narcissistic. Everybody's become all about the money. Everybody's all about themselves. Nobody cares about team anymore. All that diminished. This sounds like what happened after slavery. Like when y'all, you know what I'm saying, the same people in Alabama and the Confederate, when y'all ended slavery, it was like, oh no, we can't operate and function no more. We got to put these niggas in jail. We got to criminalize these niggas. We got to, because guess what else can we do with them? The only way we know how to interact with these people is if we're in control of them. There's no way we can function with these people like this, because the way things used to be, we used to be able to just tell you, boy, you do this. Like, we used to be able to control every aspect, but now you can read and you can write and you got freedom and you can come into my office and you can tell me what you don't want to deal with. And I can't do anything but operate with you like you're some sort of an equal, because of the money has equalized our relationship. Crazy to think that you'd have to actually address my parents and my agent possibly to deal with you. Now, you're not paying me. See, Nick Saban didn't retire so much because the school isn't going to pay. They're doing this because the transition you're going to have to make in order to pay them, you got to start operating with some equality in the conversation about time I spend playing the sport and how you govern me and so on and so forth. Because now we're diving into the character. They're tiptoeing around it, but he's taking shots at these majority of the black parents that he used to get. They're all about the money now. All these they're all about the money. Nobody was ever trying to get to the NFL without getting the character building. Nobody was trying to get to the NFL without getting groomed by Nick Saban and his wife having the dinner. They're going to talk about that. But it seems like that's the mentality of a lot of these Caucasian men and some of the brothers that I see that really believe that they can't function and coach college sports anymore because they have to come up with a fair way to treat these individuals now that they have to offer them a financial opportunity beyond the scholarship. Let's see what else the good man had to say.
Interesting for breakfast.
Yeah, I like how my man rubbed his ear when he said that, right? Like, yeah, she would always talk to the mothers and talk about how we're going to impact. What mothers was your wife talking to that she could relate to? I'm just curious. What situation and what demographic that plays at your university was your wife speaking to in your home, your family home, that you invited everybody over for dinner? Who are these people? What do they look like? Like, what members of the team's parents were these? Damn, OG, your wife don't want to develop them to be financial gurus? I mean, to be financially well off? Like, you couldn't told your wife, like, yeah, they all want to get the money back like we do. We millionaires. So if there's anybody that's really got the game and the information to help these people out, to help these mothers and their sons out, guess who it is? It's us, because we're friggin' millionaires. And we're literally millionaires because of individuals like their sons. The audacity to even put it out there that there was an issue with your wife, there was any type of issue with dual wife. Come on, B. Like, we gotta stop this. This was hilarious, man. That's why the whole commentary from this dude sitting next to Ted Cruz, and it's politics, it's business. All of it is tied into it because, in essence, like, to even get on the mic and say what he's saying in the manner that which he's saying, in the context he's saying it is, these black people primarily, and some of these poor white kids that come from rural parts of America that are playing football, their parents and them had the audacity to be in our home. And instead of them wanting to be nurtured and have this good, wholesome meal with us and listen to this bullshit about how they're going to groom our sons and make them into these great men, they wanted to talk about the money. And they only want to get paid. They don't want anything else. And that's some real privileged white people shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like privileged white people shit. Because average, everyday, working class, Caucasian people, that thought process right there, they would sit and laugh at, why wouldn't I want to get paid when my son blows out his knee and I got to cover the bill for the 2 years after he's done playing ball if he ever returns back to that roster? Why would I not want to get the money when I'm well aware that you're making the most money as a collegiate coach, and they're telling me by law there's an opportunity for us to get paid, and you're sitting here and you still want to talk about character development, and you don't want to talk about financial literacy and character development, how they go together now? Like you left college literally because of that. No, you left because you weren't valuable anymore. You left college because the gig is up. You guys ran the table because you guys were able to cheat. Nobody else could cheat without you guys telling on them. Okay? The gig is up. So now the gig is up and you made your money. Guess what you and your wife have to deal with? Doing Aflac commercials and you being at the house all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's all we got to deal with now, man. But it's just the whole narrative and the whole concept of these guys talking about how the fact that young black boys, young poor white kids from the country, women in general are now able to really max out the opportunity because the same name, image, and likeness that the university uses to promote to other students in the student body to enroll into the school, they now can get a little bit of that same love from their own name, image, and likeness that you, the president, everybody else that runs the school in these universities across the United States of America has been using to up the marketplace for themselves. So, hey, man, shut up. Please shut up, Nick Saban. Just take the homie off the TV. Go and do an analyst color commentary, bro. Get off of the TV, man. It's not a good look for us to have to hear this over and over and over again. Coach Cal B, man, NIL agent. Get Paid to Play is the name of the athlete influencer content creation podcast and workshop that I have cracking, man. Like, we got to get off this right here. Please. I seen what's the cat Coach Cal B that did Last Chance U. Like, my man get on the thing, man, and he just be airing it out. And I get it. It's an uncomfortable space because now, yes, the same kid that was entitled, but you used to be able to talk shit to that kid and then kick him off the team or parlay their scholarship to another kid and then make that kid go get financial aid and that's it. Like, you can't do that shit anymore. That kid that you used to be able to dog out in practice can now just be like, I'm getting in the portal. And you can call me stupid all you want to. You can say all the negative things you want to say about me getting into the portal and not having a chance. But what I'm leaving here with is my integrity and my dignity if you're abusing me or if you're abusing your arbitrary power because you're a coach. That's it. That's all. We keep trying to make this thing about winning. That's the problem with all of us adults. We come from an era where all this shit is about winning, when in reality, you don't care anything about the human being that's playing the sport. You keep putting it out there, the love of the game. No, the love of the game we need to love is the love of the game that's called money, the money game. So Nick Saban is going to sit on television and act like the money game ain't the game that we really playing. That's why we came to your house in the first place. Punk, we came to your house to get this money business, which you've given it to me, and a scholarship. So this way, I have to stay here for 3 years, 4 years in order for me to get to the league. But guess what now, man? Guess what? I'm going to put a price on my own head. Yeah, and you're going to have to bid for my services. And if you don't want my services, more power to you. Because now I get to elect what I get to do for free. I don't got to go and operate for free or for some cheap-ass scholarship, okay, that don't come with all the other intangibles. Yes, the God complex is real as a coach. You're feeling yourself. And now that you and your football acumen don't matter because it's paperwork due, that's why Nick Saban ain't going and just volunteering his services around the country, teaching everybody how to play football like that. So we're not going to play these goofy-ass games with these people, man. It's time to get paid to play, man. And again, it's still about character development. It's still about respect. It's still about honor. It's still about all those things. But why we got to leave out the fact that the only reason why we even having this conversation is because Sonny Vaccaro got a conscience with Ed O'Bannon by his side and started to tell everybody like, yo, we built a system that literally sucks the life out of the athletes. And then, man, so let's get to the rest of this, man. You know what I'm saying? It's about 6-7 minutes left of this, man. But I really want to dive in this because it was bothering the life out of me.
Was sort of
So getting paid to participate in your collegiate sport is not good development. This is when you know you're getting abused for real, B. You know what I'm saying? This is when you know you're getting whooped on, when they've already put it out there that, hey, man, what we doing ain't really ethical. It's kind of illegal. You know, like when they put it out there in Congress, now you back sitting at the table talking about what? Yo. Oh, what is wrong with these guys, man? But anyway, man, I digress, man. We're not going to dive too much more into this. The reality is the hypocrisy. The game is new and it's been renewed. Young people, parents of these young athletes, hey, sit down, educate yourself on the finances of the colleges that you will be attending. I'm serious, y'all. Stop being ignorant. Stop being naive and thinking because you're signing a national letter of intent that you're doing good business on behalf of your children, or you're doing good business on behalf of yourself. If you're the athlete, yo, hey, for real, y'all need to ask better questions, all right? Because this nonsense still exists, okay? Trust me. Ted Cruz is sitting next to this man simply because he wants to make sure he can exploit the reality that, hey, is this. If you let women and young black athletes and international athletes come into our system in America and exploit the college system for money, you now are just like the university. And we don't want that kind of equality because that's what the university does. Notice you don't see the presidents of the university sitting down and having this conversation. I really don't care what Nick Saban thinks. I care what the president of the university actually thinks about this, or the commissioner of the conference actually thinks about this. The coaches don't matter. The coaches do what they're told to do, and they move based on what they've been allowed to do. That's why Rick Pitino was at Louisville doing that stuff, because he was allowed to do it. We're all in on this. Anybody that's coached at a high level in high school, AAU, you're making all the shady moves, and people who are in the know with you, that are operating the business with you, they know, because they want to win too. We have this obsessive culture of winning these whack-ass trophies instead of building up real people. So what he's talking about is a lie, because he's a multi-millionaire off of his name, image, and likeness, and off the name, image, and likeness of other young people. What he's avoiding saying is, I built these niggas. They don't deserve it. I do. Now, I give them some crumbs, and I teach them how to, manage their little per diem, but making real money and being able to tell me that you ain't coming back this season, you're going to go to another school and I can't stop it? Oh, no, that's the level of loyalty he's talking about. See, Kurt Flood dealt with that too when he was a Cardinal back in the day. And he lost his whole career, but he opened up the floodgates, which is now called free agency, that we all benefit from. This was illegal, people. Name, image, and likeness, and not giving somebody the opportunity to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. Meanwhile, you do. That's called illegal. We'll simplify it. We don't got to get in all the deeper discussions of it. It's illegal. You can do it. All right. That's why they had to pay out. Whether you had to pay me back $5 or you had to pay me back $5 million. The fact that it was illegal makes it illegal. They don't address that. They keep wanting to go back on the fact that it's illegal. So I digress, and I suggest that, hey, you tune into the Coach Cal B Show. You find out more about Get Paid to Play. All right, the content creation network. You need to tap in, man, because, again, we're learning about how to get paid to play, how to actually execute this the correct way. There's something that I want to chop in, and y'all all need to be chiming in, man, and getting at this. The national letter of intent and the ability to negotiate as parents, negotiate the terms of the scholarship. I have no love for colleges at all. I have no love for them because they've been complicit this whole entire time. So if they want to keep their programs, it ain't like these sports programs are beneficial to America. They're not. All right. Most of these young brothers and sisters, they need to be going to get a job in tech. You need to be learning how to do a trade. You need to be learning to do something real with your time. All right. This right here is exploitive. And so you need to exploit your talent. You need to exploit the school. You need to exploit all of that like you're being exploited. It's March Madness. You better get focused on getting paid while you're there. You better focus on getting your chips up while you're there, because it's a real opportunity right now. So get paid to play. Tap in, Coach Cal B, CoachCalB.com, The Daily. Deuces.